The fact that both the ECB rate decision and the U.S. non-farm payrolls report coincided recently meant that there was at least some markets that saw some volatility. The quick movement in price makes it easy for traders to get sucked into taking trades outside of their normal plan or at prices far worse than they really should. Now, even though the additional movement is likely to generate far more trading opportunities, somehow the fear of missing out, or FOMO, in trading seizes control of the trader, and their subsequent decisions, they become rash. A dangerous and chaotic spiraling out of control can take over as revenge trading shows up, and before you know it, you can find yourself with sizable losses for the day. This is why don't chase trades is such a vital day trading rule. Let me describe this sort of scenario that I'm talking about here with a bit more detail. So you thoroughly prepare for what you think could be an active trading session given the importance of several economic releases. You specifically identify a number of possible scenarios and some entry prices that are likely to give you a great opportunity to make a healthy amount of ticks. Then you sit and wait. The numbers come out and the market reacts. That's moving pretty quick, but it has a good feel to it. The market sets up, you're calm and you're collected. However, as you're getting ready to pull the trigger, the market jumps a few ticks as several other traders take the trade ahead of you. That's okay, you think, I'll get in on the retest. But the retest is just a little bit too shallow for you to get your fill, and the market starts to move nicely in the direction of the missed trade. The trouble is that FOMO, now it starts to take control, and it's a pretty powerful motivator. Unfortunately, it can also be powerful in blinding a trader to the realities of the actions that they're about to take. So you pounce on the runaway beast and all of a sudden, it stops. This is when it dawns on a trader that they only managed to take the trade because the market had already started waning and the entry was very poor. If you ignore the day trading rule, don't chase trades, the most dangerous outcome is to be rewarded and end up with a highly profitable trade. Now, even if this only happens in a small proportion of trades, it's unlikely that this will be at the forefront of your mind when these strong FOMO emotions are motivating to take the trade. And now, if you get these poor decisions reinforced by the occasional positive outcome, it's unlikely that you'll learn any of the important lessons of why you don't chase trades. To start with, the market, it doesn't care where you enter. So if you get in at a much worse price than you had planned for, your risk may have increased dramatically, where your wrong remains the same, and so your stop has to increase in size. If your profit potential is still good and you have the flexibility to reduce the size of the trade to normalize risk, then a trade still could work, but this is all too often not the way things happen. Apart from the added level of price risk to see if the trade will work out, by getting in after the market has already made a thrust and before it's had a chance to pull back, you're increasing the risk that it'll move against you and move against you fast. Bear in mind that the reason that you've chased a trade is that you're becoming emotional in the first place, and it's easy to see that a sharp move against you right after you've entered is only likely to intensify your emotions. Psychologically, chasing trades can be extremely damaging. When they do happen to go right, the trouble is that you'll see a decrease in the level of profit potential. Remember, the market doesn't care where you've entered, and it's going to go where it's going to go, regardless of you. So if you've taken a trade closer to its destination, your profit potential, it's diminished. In terms of how you should approach potential trades in order to guard against chasing trades, you could do a lot worse than attempt to mimic our furry feline friends. A cat is a natural and effective hunter. It identifies its likely prey. It stalks its prey and waits for the best moment to pounce. It lets its prey come to it. Finally, in the moment of truth, it either pounces or it passes up on the opportunity and returns to other business. So here are a few other tips to avoid chasing the market. Try to be focused when your trade shows up. If you're able to set up audible alerts on your charting platform, then do so. Avoid distractions when you're scheduled to trade and set up your trading environment to take this into account. If you find that you're often missing trade setups by a small margin, ask yourself if your entry plan needs revising or whether you might add a secondary entry plan if you miss the first chance to take a trade. Ask yourself the question of whether you're being impulsive based on the fear of missing out. Awareness is the first step to remedy. As part of your trade plan, you might want to give yourself a final tick tolerance for your entry so that you don't have to get your entry price 100% spot on every single time. The day trading rule to not chase trades is probably not one where the importance is going to be apparent every single time you trade. It is, however, going to be crucial when the markets are moving quickly. Not chasing trades is a rule that might just save you a substantial number.